Welcome back to Not So Pro Packer Talk, where we only talk about the Packers. Today we're going to be talking about why the Green Bay Packers should keep Aaron Jones on the roster. Now, why am I making this video? Reed, he's under contract for the next 2 years. What are you talking about? To keep him? Of course we're keeping him. Whoa, guys! If you've paid attention to the contract, you know at this date, after this past season, that at next year he's a cap casualty. His contract was always set up where there is a clear out for the Packers after this past year, and if the Packers choose to cut him or trade him, they save $10 million off their cap this year. And with the Packers very much over the cap and need to either restructure players or cut players to get underneath the cap, they need to do something. And right now, Aaron Jones is a cap casualty. Now, my whole video right now is why the Packers should keep him. At the end of the day, I think Aaron Jones is one of the only things about this Packer offense that worked. When they chose to run the ball, when they put it in this guy's hands, he showed up. He put up. He's a tremendous talent. He's explosive. He had a career year, but also not so good of a career year for Aaron Jones. So this past year, 2022, he had the most rushing yards he's ever had in a single season. And a lot of that is because we didn't have any receiver threats at all. But we really didn't give him the ball too much either. This was his second most he's ever rushed in a single year. 2019 was his best year with 236 rushing attempts, 1,081 yards, 16 touchdowns. Receiving was also great, also. So this is his second best year altogether, in my opinion. Because this year he had his most rushing yards, 213 attempts, 1,021 yards, only 2 rushing touchdowns. And you might wonder, how did Aaron Jones only have 2 rushing touchdowns? It's because the Packers, even though they ran the ball, once they got into the red zone, in the goal line, they pulled him out of the game. It made absolutely zero sense. Yeah, you got to give the guy a rest, but also he's the only part of this offense that works. You got to keep him in the game and get into the end zone. I think that was the main reason, in my opinion, why the Packers' red zone offense was absolutely just abysmal. They were absolutely horrible. They could not do anything. I think they were probably the worst in the NFL in the red zone efficiency. It was really, really bad. And I think that was mostly because of how the Packers used him and not Aaron Jones' fault, in my opinion. But yeah, going on, he had 395 reception yards, 59 catches. 59 catches, that is a lot for a running back, in my opinion. And then so total yards 15-16. Some other stats for you. His yak yards was 476. Dude was a beast after contact. Yeah, he just had a really good year, in my opinion. But the two biggest concerning things is the touchdowns. Obviously, as I said earlier, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He also had 5 receiving touchdowns, but 7 total touchdowns for Aaron Jones. It's not a lot. And then he had 5 fumbles this year, which is by far his most that he's ever had in a single season. It's very concerning about Aaron Jones. He even said at the end of the season that that's going to be a point of emphasis, and that's not going to be something that's been happening next year. So now reading off that stat line, you might wonder, Reed, why should the Packers resign or keep this guy on the roster? At the end of the day, as I said earlier, he's the only thing about this offense that worked. Everything else, the passing game, Aaron Rodgers, AJ Dillon didn't look too great. When he got the ball, it seemed like we could really move the ball down the field. We could be efficient, first down, second down, first down, second down, third down, first down, and we can really move the ball down the field. Without him, I think the teams knew that we just were very one-dimensional. AJ Dillon just did not have the kind of year we were expecting out of him. He just was not very efficient, in my opinion, having a few good games here and there. But altogether, it was not a very good year for AJ Dillon. Now, Aaron Jones, why are the reasons we shouldn't keep him? And hey, I'm not gonna be like Cheesehead TV. If you guys on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. Where they called up, they said why Aaron Jones should be cut from the Packers or traded, and he quote tweeted it. Hey man, I thought I like Cheesehead TV. Now I don't know about it anymore. So I'm not gonna be like them. I want Aaron Jones back. All right, he is the life. He is a Packer. He carries the G. I want this guy back. But here are the reasons why we should we should think about either getting rid of him or doing something with his contract. As I said earlier, he is a cap casualty. His cap number this year untouched is $20 million. Now, to put that in perspective for you, that is the most a running back has had as a single year cap hit. 20 million is the single highest. You might wonder what's next highest. Well, it was Zeke last year with 18 million, and everybody says how Ezekiel Elliott was not worth that money. So you got to wonder, like, is Aaron Jones worth this money? Um, there's a very big belief in the NFL, and it's a belief I honestly really have myself. Which is very I thought that Aaron Jones was definitely going to get cut out this year, but after how I saw him play, I definitely do not believe that anymore or want that anymore. But I am a big believer in the thought process that running backs grow on trees. Um, you can get a younger, faster, fresher guy in there through the draft, and place him in there, and he's going to be better than a older, declining running back. With Aaron Jones, I don't think he's declining. I don't think that's, but he is getting older. Right now, Aaron Jones is 28 years old, turning on 29. It's not terribly old, but it is old in running back years. So the problem remains is Aaron Jones' contract. What do we do with it? How do we restructure it? How do we move forward with Aaron Jones, but also not take this humongous $20 million cap hit? So simply, we have to restructure it. And I believe Aaron Jones would be more than happy to do so. I also don't think it's really his choice. If he wants to stay a Green Bay Packer, we have to restructure this thing. Now, if we max restructure it and push money out into 2024, 2025, and we can push out a total of 10.9 roughly of cap space, which puts him at about $9 million cap hit for the Packers. So it is very necessary for the Packers to do restructuring somewhere on this team. Aaron Jones is looking his contract, his cap hit is looking mighty fine, mighty tasty to move around. So I think there's definitely going to be some type of move with his cap hit. Will it be the full 11 million? I don't know, but it's definitely on the table in my opinion. So what do I think the Packers should do? I definitely don't think they should cut him. I don't think they should trade him. Yes, you can get something back for him right now, but at the end of the day, I think you should restructure his deal, push out money to future years. Even though I hate doing that, we have to do it. And then have him play another year, and then the following year either trade him or cut him. Definitely, you can't keep him on the team for 2024. I don't think that's wise as a financial move. As much as we want Aaron Jones on as a Green Bay Packer, I got a signed jersey of his. I love this guy, but at the end of the day, he's a cap casualty. His contract was really only meant for 2 years, but I think we should push it to the third. So you got to restructure this guy. You got to keep him on this team because without him, and if we also lose Aaron Rodgers this year, we need something consistent. We need a leader in the locker room, which Aaron Jones is. We need a guy who loves the Green Bay Packers and loves playing for them. And so I think definitely Aaron Jones needs to be brought back. Not really brought back, but just kept on the team and not moved around. So that's what I think about Aaron Jones. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tune in to everything Not So Pro. And I'll see you guys next time. Go Pack Go.